Good day, OA. My name is Lionel Garcia. I'm your Vice President of Sales and Agent Development, and I'm excited to be here with you today because it is Monday. And every Monday, we like to do our Motivation Monday. And so this is what we get to do. And I'm excited. I see a few of you in here already. So hello. Good afternoon, Michaela. Nice to see you. Happy Monday. And so if you're watching live, great. You can comment and interact with me here. Just type it into the chat box. If you're not watching it live and you see it on a replay on Facebook, by all means, you can chime in there as well. So this is what we get to do on our Motivation Monday. And this week, we're going to talk about something that, well, the truth is, we've all experienced at some point, and maybe that's why you're here. You're like, wait a minute, I've been ghosted before. I want to talk about that. I want to see what he has to say. But before we do, let's jump into our wins of the week. It's the best time of the week. I love to celebrate our wins and see how many of those W's we've been able to collect throughout the week, maybe even some W's that we're going to move into. So, what are they? What are your wins? Are they small wins? Are they business wins? Are they professional wins? Are they? I just want to know. Maybe it's a booking, it's a follow up, a new lead. Maybe you kicked off a really awesome conversation that could really open up into something else. Or maybe you know what? You didn't want to come on this call today, but you did it anyway. Things are feeling tough, but you still showed up and that was your win. So here's the truth is that every single win matters because sometimes things just don't go as planned. So it's nice to remember what are those wins. So what is your win? I can share with, oh, here we go. We have a few comments. I love this. Hello to Monica. Hello, Dreamy Destination. And Michael, you hit 2,000 members on your Facebook page. Michael, I remember when you hit 1,000. It was just the other day. Congratulations. That is awesome. That's a big win for you. So great job, Michael. So what other wins? I'll share with you my business win is that we launched our breakout sessions for our conference this year, and that's really exciting. We launched those. There's literally I think over 72 different sessions that are taking place on Thursday of the week. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday of our conference. And it is awesome to see the amount of engagement, initiative, all of our agents just rushing to take up the space. And so many of our dates, our breakout sessions are already sold out. So kudos to those of you who've signed up. And those of you who haven't, what are you waiting for? I sent the email last week. Go in and do that. And then on a personal note, I'm excited. My win of the week is that on Thursday, I'm heading off to vacation with my family. We're going to Mexico and staying at the Hard Rock. I am really, really, really excited about that. So I love that. Hey, Michael, people want to know, what are you doing to get so many followers? So maybe you want to follow up with Jimmy Destination. And then Amanda, catching you live. This is needed content, getting ready to create a proposal for my first big group. Congratulations, Amanda. And Kimberly, you retired from your full-time job and now you're doing travel full-time. That is awesome. That's a huge win. I know. I'm sure you were counting down the days to this moment. So congratulations on that accomplishment. Now let's go ahead and jump in to today's motivational moment. And this week's topic is staying motivated when clients ghost you. Yes, this is terrible. And I know you have felt it and you've used the term ghosting. And so that's why I called it. What do you do when clients are ghosting you, and what do you do? So, first of all, here's the thing we have to remember, we have to normalize this, right? Because ghosting happens to every single person, every single agent, no matter their level of experience or expertise, and no matter if they've been doing this a long time or just a short little bit of time or brand new, every stage of the business, every level of experience. Sometimes, truly, what happens is a client just stops responding, or maybe that quote goes quiet, or the conversation just truly disappears. And you're just like, what? How is this possible? So, it's easy in that moment to go straight to, did I do something wrong? Did I lose the sale? Am I just not good enough? What's going on? And the truth is, I have to tell you, ghosting is not is usually not about you. That is just the truth. Ghosting is not about you. It's people get too busy. Their plans can change. Their budget shifts. Life happens. And so what happens is they forget. They just forget. They they have other things that come up and they didn't realize that they ghosted you, but they did. So here is the opportunity. And instead of seeing ghosting as a rejection, I want you to start seeing it as part of the process. Here's your mind shift set. Okay, how you're going to change the way you think is that realizing that ghosting is not the end, it's a follow up opportunity. Most of the successful agents are not the ones who avoid the ghosting, they're the ones who are going to respond to it with confidence. So that's what you want to do. You want to respond to this ghosting with the consistency and confidence, knowing that it's not about you, knowing that it's just the fact that it happens to everybody and that people get busy. And that's what happens. They forget. So don't be afraid to check back in. Don't be afraid to keep the conversation alive, add value, stay top of mind. And because sometimes the timing, well, all the time, timing is everything. You want to be there when they're ready. And so here's something very, very, very powerful that you want to remember. And that is that today's ghosting, okay, can become next month's booking. So don't be afraid. Don't take it personal. Step right in and do that follow up, add the value. And on our call to action, we're going to talk about some things that you can do to make it less awkward or less pushy so you don't feel like you're harassing anybody. So let's go. I do see some chats here. Okay. Sharon, hello, made it live. I love it, Sharon. Sharon gets to, we get to work together. Sharon's our Vice President of Strategic Partnership and Growth. I'm so glad you're here. Your big wins is that our agents received the NCL. Yes. Wasn't that awesome, Sharon? So many of our agents received, and they've been posting and sharing the pictures online of their top 10 awards that they received from Norwegian and from Royal Caribbean. I think that was really awesome. So yes, yes, that was a really neat thing. So thanks for sharing that, Sharon. All right, let's jump in to our call to action. And this is going to be a funny one. We're calling this the Ghost Buster strategy. So Ghost Buster strategy and your call to action this week is number one, reach out to 3 ghosted leads. 3. You can do that. All of us have been ghosted at least once. So find 3, just 3 ghosted leads. Keep it simple, no pressure, no awkwardness. You're going to do one of 2 easy approaches. The first one is the check in message. Here's the example. Ready? Hey, just wanted to check in and see if you're still thinking about your trip. I'd love to help whenever you're ready. That's your check in, right? You're just going in and taking the pulse, making sure that they're still there, that they still are looking for it. Maybe just to remind them, hey, by the way, your vacation, remember the one I was helping you plan? We're still doing this, right? Let me help you. And number 2 is going to be the value message. And here's an example of that. Hi, I came across something that made me think of your trip. Do you want me to send it over to you? And here's another thing that sometimes we miss in today's world of quick email and electronic communications, we easily default to an email, right? We just go hit send, easy. I don't want to have that very awkward conversation. I just want to send an email. But listen, pick up the phone. Hello. Hi. I just saw something that made me think about your trip. Do you want me to send it over? Oh, yeah, that would be great. What email address do I send it to? Maybe you had the wrong email address all along and there was no ghosting. They just weren't getting the message. So pick up the phone, take that step and ask for what you want. Be friendly, be human, be easy. And remember that you are not chasing. That's not what you're doing. You're trying to reconnect with your client. You're trying to help them plan that incredible vacation that they started working with you on. That's what they're trying to do. And that's what you're trying to do. Before I jump into the quote of the day, let's see a little bit more. We got Sharon saying, yes, let's do more of those, of course. Hi, Krista. Hello, hello. I love the picture of that doodle mix. Oh, my goodness. All right. So let's go into our quote of the day. Here's your quote of the day, and that is that rejection is not the end of the road. It is a redirection. So when you feel like you're being ghosted, remember, it's not you, right? It's not personal. Life is just lifing for this client. Maybe something happened that got in the way. So don't be afraid of seeing this ghosting as a opportunity. So if you feel like you've been rejected, look at this as not as like, oh, I hit the end of the road. No, see it as a redirection. See it as an opportunity to ask why. Why am I being rejected? Why did I lose the sale if that's the case? And how can you get them to say yes? So every time you hit a rejection or an objection, know that it is an opportunity to find the solution. So I hope that this quote can help you reframe your mindset this week. And so with that, we will go into closing. And I want to say thank you so much for joining this week. I love how many of you were interactive. I loved celebrating the wins. So many of you received the top 10 Royal Caribbean awards and top 10 top awards for Royal Caribbean. A lot of you have signed up for the breakouts, which is awesome. Celebrating the wins on social media and achieving 2,000 followers in a private Facebook group. That's another win. So I want you to keep this week, remind yourself that if you've been recently ghosted, it's okay. Just shake it off. Do like Taylor, shake it off. Don't get me singing. No, no, no. Remember that it's not personal. It's just part of the process. I want you to stay consistent, stay confident, and stay visible, because the agents who follow up are the agents who get the win. So I want to also remind you that sadly, I'm not going to have a Motivation Monday next week, as I'll be on vacation with the family. And then the following Monday, the 13th, we're hosting an advanced groups training right here in Jacksonville. And I'm excited because we're going to have so many of our agents here with Alon and our suppliers. So sadly, I won't be doing one on the 13th either. So my next Motivation Monday live will be on the 20th at 2 p.m. And are going to be covering one of my favorite topics, which is celebrating the wins, those W's, and tracking those wins, how they create more wins and they kind of build upon each other. And I want us to focus on using celebrations as a way to motivate and as a business tool. So that's what we want to do. So I'll see you back here on July 20th at 2 p.m. East for our next Motivation Monday. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. See ya.